Good people. I am Sigmund Freud, the man who spent 40 years explaining why people make irrational decisions, and then Taylor Swift dated an NFL player. At that moment, psychology became a spectator sport. Today, I shall explain Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce using actual psychology. Along the way, I shall present 4 diagnostic tests. If you understand all 4 jokes, congratulations, you are mentally healthy. Probably. Subscribe now, because by the end of this video, I will diagnose Swifties, NFL fans, celebrity gossip media, and possibly the entire United States. Now let us examine how this began. In 2023, Travis Kelce attended Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. There, he attempted one of humanity's oldest psychological rituals, trying to impress someone attractive. His strategy? A friendship bracelet. The bracelet failed. But then Travis mentioned the story on his podcast, and somehow, the podcast succeeded. Soon, America's biggest pop star was dating one of America's biggest football players, at which point I became professionally interested. Because according to my theory, human beings are attracted to status, and these two possessed enough status to start their own currency. Then came the truly fascinating part. Swifties entered the NFL. Millions of Taylor fans suddenly learned terms like touchdown, red zone, tight end. Meanwhile, NFL fans were forced to learn Eras Tour, Easter eggs, and why Taylor changing a dress apparently constitutes breaking news. Psychology calls this identification. People absorb the interests of those they admire. Americans call it learning football for a woman you've never met. Brain rot test number 1. According to my theory, every mind contains the id, the ego, and the superego. Taylor announces a new album. The id says, buy it. The ego says, you already own 7 versions. The superego says, save your money. The Swiftie says, excellent, I shall purchase the collector's edition. Psychology refers to this as desire. Swifties refer to it as limited edition merchandise. If you understood that joke, your unconscious mind remains operational. 3 diagnoses remain. Now, dear viewers, Taylor and Travis are no longer merely dating. They have become a public hobby. Every photograph, every football game, every ring generates enough discussion to power an entire TikTok ecosystem. As a psychologist, I find this fascinating because people are not watching Taylor and Travis. They are watching their own fantasies, their own hopes, their own relationship goals. Taylor and Travis have become America's emotional support couple, which explains the wedding rumors. Every few weeks, the internet announces a new theory. The venue is chosen, the guest list is ready, the wedding is next month. Remarkably, none of this information comes from Taylor or Travis. It comes from strangers with smartphones and extraordinary confidence. Brain rot test number 2. Taylor posts a photograph holding coffee. Normal people see coffee. Swifties see a wedding announcement. Psychology calls this projection. The internet calls it content. Now let us examine how one celebrity relationship accidentally became an economic sector. Now, dear viewers, most relationships create memories. This relationship created an industry. Every dinner date becomes content. Every football game becomes content. Every photograph becomes content. At this point, Taylor and Travis generate more jobs than some startups. Sports media discusses them. Entertainment media discusses them. TikTok discusses them. YouTube discusses them. Even people who claim to hate celebrity gossip somehow discuss them for 47 minutes. As a psychologist, I find this entirely predictable. Because humans are social creatures, we evolved to pay attention to important people. Unfortunately, the modern brain cannot distinguish between the tribal chief and a celebrity couple trending on Instagram. So the unconscious mind sees Taylor and Travis and immediately declares, important, observe continuously. Brain rot test number 3. A normal relationship gains memories. A celebrity relationship gains sponsorship opportunities. Psychology calls this attention. The internet calls it a revenue stream. Which brings us to my final diagnosis. Taylor Swift commands one of the largest fan armies in America. Travis Kelce commands one of the largest audiences in American sports. This is not a relationship. This is a corporate merger. If Disney and the NFL had a baby, it would receive less media attention. Brain rot test number 4. When 2 normal people start dating, their families meet. When Taylor and Travis start dating, entire industries collaborate. Psychology calls this collective fascination. The internet calls it Tuesday. So what is my verdict? Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are not America's favorite couple. They are America's favorite ongoing psychological experiment. I have been Sigmund Freud. Like the video, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, which celebrity fandom requires the most therapy? Until next time, remember, sometimes a relationship is just a relationship, and sometimes it becomes a publicly traded asset.